legendary lake, a proving ground, a challenge, a place to show you're the best. The action is fast, the bass are fierce, the weather is freezing cold, where records are set and champions are born. One fish can change the game, one win can change your life. Everything on the line. It's do or die in the hunt for big bass and $200,000.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes! Look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Glory ticket, $500,000 richer.
Lake Murray in the heart of the capital of South Carolina. 55,000 acres, lined with homes and scenery unlike any other in our country. When you look up the history of this lake in the category of bass fishing, the phrase that reappears over and over is big bass. This body of water has produced some of the world's largest 5 bass stringers ever weighed in, and it's producing once again in 2006. It's the second stop on the Walmart FLW Tour from Columbia, South Carolina. It's the second annual Chevy Open from Lake Murray. Hello, everyone. I'm Keith Leibowitz, along with Charlie Evans. Welcome to the 2006 Chevy Open. Freezing conditions day in and day out here for the first 3 days of competition, including this morning, where at takeoff it was about 29 degrees. But fortunately for us, it has not affected the fishing. Huge stringers brought in each and every day. We expect the same this afternoon. And the guy that has to be considered the favorite from Prosperity, South Carolina, Anthony Gagliardi.
Definitely the local favorite. Everybody expects him to win here, and he has not disappointed anybody so far, bringing in huge stringers, and he's got lots of places to fish. He knows this lake like the back of his hand.
A guy he has to look out for is Tim Carroll. Tim brought in 44+ pounds worth of bass in the first 2 days, and Tim says he hasn't even touched his best stuff yet.
He has found the mother lode out there. Didn't even practice the last 2 days. He had enough fish located. Yesterday, only caught 3 fish and then quit, saving his best places for today and tomorrow.
Another storyline that we're following, 2 females on the co-angler side still remain in the top 10 field. Sandra Rankin, and then the only woman to ever win an FLW Tour event, Judy Israel.
The ladies are proving they can compete with anybody. They both say they could win the co-angler side of this event.
But first, they have to survive the weather. It is cold here as the anglers put their boats in the water. It's not stopping anybody, though. In fact, Brendan Bosley is ready for anything.
It's going to be a little slick this morning, but it's supposed to warm up a little bit, and sun's going to come up, and I think fish will bite.
And just look at all of these layers. This looks more like an astronaut than an angler. One pro who isn't letting this cold snap throw him off his game calls this area home. And he's working hard to make the hometown fans happy. Anthony Gagliardi.
I put a lot of time in. I put more time in for this tournament than any tournament I've ever fished, and I'm glad it paid off. I'm glad I'm able to be there. All the people that are here support me. I'm glad that I was able to make a top 10 here on the home lake.
And he is doing everyone proud in this tournament, second place in both the first 2 days. And here is a look at who else made the top 10 cut. The pros will be in the front of the boat, the co-anglers in the back of the boat. The top qualifying co-angler, Brian Thrift.
His second top 10 in a row. He is really hot, but the weather, as you can see, is really cold. It's below freezing, cold water temperatures, cold air temperatures. The water level down 10 to 15 feet below normal. The takeoff, run across this lake at top speed. I'm telling you, it's freezing out there.
From 400 who began, only the top 10 pros and co-anglers made it to the final round. Today's catch will decide the co-angler competition. As for the pros, they'll combine their weights from today and tomorrow to determine their champion. South Carolina sits along the Atlantic seaboard. Lake Murray is in the very heart of the state. With dozens of inlets and bays, there are nearly 500 miles of shoreline on a lake only 41 miles long. And our takeoff point is Jake's Landing at the east end. Anthony Gagliardi knows this lake like the back of his hand. He's been working deep water, and it has been paying off all week long, Charlie.
He brought in a 5 bass limit, Keith, that weighed 26 pounds and 14 ounces on the first day, normally enough to take the lead, but is over a pound behind Tim Carroll.
He's fishing out of the Chevy boat with co-angler David Brunau, and he has one on here.
That's a good one.
He's got one hooked up, headed toward the boat.
He's not that big.
Not as big as he thought it was going to be, but a good keeper into the boat.
I'll take him to start with,
That's number 1. He can catch up to 5 before he starts calling, try to upgrade.
That'll work for now.
Yeah, that's a nice start for Anthony Gagliardi. We move over now to our top qualifier on the pro side, Tim Carroll, and man, has he been hot this week.
Huge first day stringer, 5 bass limit. Then on day 2, only brought 3 to the scales, quit fishing after that. 2-day total, over 44 pounds of fish.
He's fishing out of the Snickers boat with his co-angler, Brian Thrift, and look at that hook set.
He's got one hooked up here. Either he's taking his time or it's a huge fish.
There you go. Yay!
It is a huge
Look
fish.
at that toad. Yep. Look at that toad right there. Man, what a way to start the morning.
That is a great start. It starts with a fantastic hook set, just like you said, Keith. Good solid hook set. Get it right in the fish's jaw. Fight it up to the top,
There you go.
into the net. That's a great way to start your day. Get that heart pumping, get you going.
Well, Tim Carroll has every reason to be all jacked up this morning, and it's a good thing these Ranger boats have a lot of space in the live wells, because if this is any indication of the day ahead, Tim is going to need all the room he can get. The weather may be cold, but the fishing is definitely heating up. You don't want to miss a moment of this competition. Come on back for more from the 2006 Chevy Open here on the Walmart FLW Tour. Here is Land O'Lakes pro Jeremiah Kindy, 2 top 10s last year, but he struggled on Lake Okeechobee in the first event of the season. His co-angler is Andy Montgomery.
Hung up on a rock, looks like.
Net.
Oh, no, it's a fish.
Oh, he got it off that rock. Go! Come on, baby. It's a big one. Oh, I was hung on that rock and he ate it off of it. Oh, God, come on.
Taking his time, wanting it in the boat.
Yes! One down. I got all day to catch 4 more, baby. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. I was hung on a rock right there and he ate it off of it. Woo!
That's when you know you're going to have a great day when something like that happens. He had a tough time in the first tournament on Lake Okeechobee. Didn't do very good there. He's been really consistent here. 6th on day 1, 4th after day 2, and off to a great start here on day 3.
You know my old buddy Brendan Bosley yesterday said he got hung up on a rock. He was hung up on it. He said a 6-pounder pulled it off of it. He had 26 pounds yesterday. I just got hung up on a rock, caught a 3-pounder. It could get ugly today, I guarantee you.
And Jeremiah and Brendan are traveling partners as well, both here in the top 10. Back now to the hometown favorite. This is Anthony Gagliardi. He's already got 4 keepers in the boat.
Here's a look at keeper number 4. He caught just a few moments ago. Spinning rod and reel, deeper water, fishing really slow. A little over 2 pounds.
Anthony Gagliardi started the morning on the west end of the lake, as you can see here on our Lowrance map, and now he's made a little move to the center part of the lake, and that's where we catch up with him again.
Fishing real slow, real deep with a jig over brush piles. Good hook set.
That's a big one.
He says he's got a good one on here, and for the way it's pulling, I can believe him. This could really help him. He's got 4 in the boat. This would be number 5. A limit.
That'll help me right there.
Beautiful looking fish. Nice job. Anthony Gagliardi is going to be tough out here on these waters.
That was over 4 pounds.
That's
Tremendous hook set. A lot of power going in the hook set. Again, make sure you drive that hook home. Get it hooked up good so it don't come off. Taking his time. Good net job. And that right there puts him 5 in the boat.
Home court advantage is sometimes a jinx, but right now, Anthony Gagliardi's throwing that all out the window. Fantastic performance so far this morning. Here is the pedigree boat where Matt Herron is fishing with co-angler Sandra Rankin. For just the 2nd time in FLW history, 2 women are in the top 10. The last time it happened, here at Lake Murray.
It was the first time 2 girls have ever made the cut.
Laura Aldridge.
You're catching nothing but huge fish.
So we made FLW history.
I think that was Laura's 2nd or 3rd tournament.
Yeah, tell me what to do because I'm
You just bring it right here.
And I fished with Larry Nixon that day, so that was great. And I finished 9th. Woo!
I got to fish with Daryl Robertson. Then I ended up catching 3 fish with Daryl that day and ended up placing 5th. Happy to be here. If nothing else out of that tournament, I believe the reason I made that top 10 was so that I could meet Laura.
That's how we met, became good friends, and just became buddies fishing the tour.
So, okay, how was your day?
She's in our wedding. she's probably my best friend.
I can't imagine her not being around. You know, I don't know what I did before I met her.
The two of them are a lot of fun to be around. Back now to the pedigree boat. Sandra Rankin fishing at the back of the boat. Matt Herron at the front, and Sandra's got one.
Got him?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is it a good one?
Yeah. That's that.
Easy now.
Please. Please.
You have to
Please.
calm him down.
Matt Herron giving her some good advice.
Please, please, please,
Helping her get it in.
please, please. Thank you, God. Hallelujah.
She is excited. Again, Matt Herron really helping her get that big fish into the boat. This is a monster.
That is the first fish of the day, and I think I'm going to make out with you.
Sandra.
Yes.
Let's take a look at it once again, and Sandra Rankin really had a very strong hook set, put a lot of power behind it.
She really did. Good solid hook set. Again, fishing nice and slow. A little different bait, a little different technique than the pro in the front. Pays off with this huge, huge fish.
That is a bass.
She's got reason to be proud. The show is just getting started here on FLW Outdoors.
I'm Anthony Gagliardi. Stay tuned to watch me catch these big bass on my home lake, Lake Murray.
Welcome back to the Chevy Open on Lake Murray here in South Carolina. Even if they don't win the $200,000 top prize, none of the top 10 pros will go home empty-handed. And that's especially true this year, because Tyson Foods is powering the Walmart FLW Tour by releasing tagged fish at each tour stop. Here at Lake Murray, there are 3 tagged fish worth $2,000 each, but the anglers have to bring them to the scales first. There will be a total of 23 fish released during the season, and the prize money will increase by $1,000 per fish at each tour stop. And at the FLW Tour Championship in Birmingham, 1 power bass will be worth $150,000. Here's Tim Carroll in the Stickers boat along the shoreline near the middle of Lake Murray. Earlier we saw him start the day with a monster fish.
There you go.
Yes. Look at that toad.
What a way to start your day. A huge 9-pound fish. He's been catching big fish all week long using a football jig with a Zoom Green Pumpkin Fat Albert twin tail trailer. He crawls that bait along the bottom, just hopping it ever so slow around a lot of cover, and the big bass really love that bait.
They've been eating it up all week long. Tim Carroll has been on fire.
He has been flawless all week long. Good hook set here. Big fish heading toward the boat. Oh no, he lost it. That's gotta hurt.
That was another heavy one. That's the first fish I've lost since the tournament.
When he's fishing real deep and real slow like he is, he can't afford to miss any opportunities that could hurt him.
Over now to the Banana Boat in Brennan Bosley. He and Jeremiah Kinney share hotel rooms, fishing information, and a lot of fun.
We're always giggling and making fun of each other, and you know, just the kind of stuff that friends do when they get together. And I think it really helps. I think it helps keep our mind a lot clearer and a lot less stressed out. Things are a lot more fun that way, and you know, you can tell when you're out here fishing, if you're not having fun, you're usually not going to catch them.
Competitors and very close friends.
Yeah.
And now Bosley's got one on.
Heading toward the boat with a good solid keeper here.
He's pretty big though.
In the net.
Yeah! Yeah, in the net. Yeah, baby.
Through the cap cam, you can see the lure right there in the right-hand side of the net. It came out of the fish's mouth. He was fortunate that his co-angler was right there with the net. Let's have another look here. Down with the net. Charles Ward is co-angler with the net in position. Gets down underneath the fish. Now look right here. The lure comes out, but the fish is in the net. He's lucky he got that one in the boat.
Yeah, you're right, Charlie. A little good luck and quick netting by his co-angler helps Brennan Bosley land a very nice fish. That goes into the live well. We move over to Clifford Perch, who's sharing the BF Goodrich boat with co-angler Judy Israel. And she is the only woman to ever win on the Walmart FLW Tour, and Judy knows what it takes to find success from the back of the boat. At every tour stop, two competitions take place, pros against pros and co-anglers against co-anglers. Pros supply the boats and control the boat movement. The co-anglers are along for the ride.
They're fishing against the other pros, I'm fishing against the other co-anglers. We're working together as a team. I'm helping him net fish, you know, he's helping me out.
Number one, a co-angler is there to learn.
Fishing with the best of the best, and you're learning from the best.
The Tuesday night before the tournament begins, the anglers and the co-anglers are paired up in a random drawing.
Tuesday nights, I am so nervous. I could be drawing somebody who's fishing 40 feet deep, and I've only done that like once in my whole lifetime.
Anthony Gagliardi, Judy Israel.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
And I have to find out what you're doing.
I'm fishing deep. Real fishing deep.
I haven't practiced deep water at all, and I'm not a deep water fisherman.
The co-angler really has to be on their toes because they have to be watching what their pro's doing, plus paying attention to what they're doing. And it's, you know, it can be tough.
When you're huffing and puffing, because that sack weighs so much, that's the best feeling in the world.
My goal is to make the top 10 in the FLW Tour as a co-angler and fish as a pro in 2007.
I'm gonna stay as a co-angler. I need to get better at this part.
I just feel that this is where I belong right now. A co-angler's life is for me.
This was day one, and Judy did just fine in the deep water. 18 pounds, 4 ounces, and the $500 Snickers Big Bass Co-Angler Award.
Man, it's tough today. You know, somebody's catching them though.
Clifford Perch doubting himself a little.
Get on the right deal.
Got one hooked up here, though. In a hurry to get this one in the boat.
Swings it in. Didn't even need Judy Israel to help him with the net.
Oh, I do. I appreciate you being close.
He did not need a net on that one, just swung it into the boat.
Yeah, that'll work. Came off of the boat, but I'll take him. Fat little guy.
Good, healthy fish, over 2 pounds. Maybe that'll get him started.
Clifford Perch is on the board. Here's Anthony Gagliardi. He isn't letting the pressure of being the hometown favorite get to him. He's landed 7 keepers so far this morning.
I got it.
Got number 8 headed toward the boat. Looks like good, strong fish again. With a lot of pulling.
That's a big one.
Coming up from way down deep. Anthony's taking his time. Good net job there.
Big fish.
Oh, man, nice fish. That will really help. That will get rid of a smaller bass.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Charlie. He'll be able to cull here. You can only bring 5 fish to the scales. You keep the heaviest 5. That's going to qualify.
That one well over 5 pounds.
Couple more of those right there is what I need. Need a belly on that one. Tell me that fish isn't ready to spawn.
Charlie, you almost have to marvel at what Anthony Gagliardi is doing here on Lake Murray. Here, everybody has picked him to win this event, and he has not whatsoever succumbed to the pressure.
Being the local favorite most of the time is a curse. No too many places, run around too much, but he is fishing with great confidence, fishing a few spots, fishing very slow, very thorough, and it's working for him.
And he is on the move once again in the Chevy boat. We'll see if he can keep this streak going when we come back here on FLW Outdoors. Earlier this week, 200 pros and co-anglers began this tournament. Among them was co-angler Melinda Mize. She's a member of the National Guard fishing team and a sergeant in the Guard. This was her last tournament before being deployed to the Gulf, and her 14th place finish is today's Castrol Flashback. 17 pounds, 7 ounces. Melinda Mize currently in 5th place. And Melinda, I know that this is going to be your final tournament fishing for the Walmart FLW Tour representing the National Guard. You are going to be deployed rather soon.
It's just been a blessing to get to go out and catch these big fish and be here this week. It's been an amazing event.
Melinda just missed making the top 10, but was thrilled to walk away with a check.
Hi.
Melinda, we look forward to seeing you on the water again. Over now to the Kellogg's boat where we find Katsutoshi Furusawa in his first FLW Top 10.
Got one hooked up here, headed toward the boat. Katsu made 3 Walmart FLW Tour championships as a co-angler. Moved to the pro side in 2005. Had a tough year there. Oh, gosh, don't want to lose that one. He's in the top 10. Make the most of it here. Take your time, Katsu. Co-angler gets it in the net.
Baby.
Bass baby, said Katsutoshi. Nice job, that goes in the live well. And we move over to Tim Carroll, who has fished the Walmart FLW Tour since 2003, but this is his first top 10. And the outdoorsman is aiming for a trophy. Looking for his first FLW Tour victory, Tim Carroll.
I love to deer hunt and snow ski when I'm not fishing. My favorite place to snow ski is in Lake Tahoe. We just got back from there just before we came to Okeechobee, and it was just outstanding. My wife goes to the big tournaments, but somebody's got to stay home and make a living. Net. Oh, you tore up my jig. That was one of my goals this year, was to make at least one top 10. And I'm really confident. I think I can catch them. This cool weather, it's grouping them back up right where I need them to be. Any cast, you can catch a 10-pounder.
28-pound.
Great guy, Tim Carroll.
Net.
Now back to the action, and Tim's got one on.
Stay down, baby.
Taking his time with this fish. Don't want this one getting off. Lost one before. This one needs to get in the boat. Into the net. Good solid 3-pounder.
Wasn't even hooked.
Hooks came out of that fish too. We've seen a lot of that happening today, but the co-anglers are right on the spot.
And he got that one into the boat. It goes into the live well, and we are going to move on over to Clifford Perch, who's fishing docks towards the west end of the lake, still looking for one big fish.
Yeah.
This would be keeper number 3 if he can bring it in.
Come on, baby, get out of there. Oh, gosh. Here's what you want to catch him on. Get him. Just reach it. There you go. Thank you.
He was a little nervous about that one. Glad to get it in.
Well, that'll work.
Absolutely, that'll work. Good keeper there. Judy got that one in the net.
Co-anglers helping out big time today. Here's David Smith in the Castrol boat.
I'll catch one right here.
Dave's got 4 in the boat. Looking for number 5, his limit fish. Dave's first top 10 on the Walmart FLW Tour.
About a 2-pounder, maybe a little less than 2.
Smaller fish, but a limit in the boat for Dave Smith. 11 years and finally into the top 10.
It's been smooth sailing for only a few anglers today, but a couple of big Lake Murray bass could put anyone on top of the leaderboard. Out here, you take nothing for granted. Welcome back to the Chevy Open. We're looking down on Anthony Gagliardi, who is showing us how it's done on a chilly day here on Lake Murray. Land O'Lakes pro Jeremiah Kindy has gotten off to a slow start. Just 2 keepers on board, and there are only a couple of more hours to fish. But no matter what the conditions, this 3-time top 10 finisher always seems to be having a great time. From Benton, Arkansas, Jeremiah Kindy.
I really want to just fish for a living. Oh, he bit it. I do work when I'm at home. I lay floor cover when I'm at home, but if I could catch a few more good fish, I wouldn't have to lay near as much of that hardwood. Throw on the spot. If I didn't fish, I don't really know. I'd hunt a bunch, but just to drive inside. If I don't go, I'm just mad all the time, so I got to get out there. To me, fishing's always fun, so it really don't matter what the weather is, but my hands are about to freeze and break in half, I think. I love it. I wouldn't trade it. I've never caught fish like this before in my life. Any cast could be a 10-pounder, so you're never out of it here. I could catch a 30-pound bag both days. You don't never know. Man, you know, that's just your goal every time you go out is make the top 10, but I'm about ready to win one of these suckers.
Well, he certainly has the talent to take home the trophy, but he has to find the fish, Charlie.
He's got 2 in the boat.
Net.
Got one on here. Calling for the net for his co-angler. This will be number 3 if he can get it into the boat. And he's got it.
God, I have to work all day for them rascals, but I got 3 now.
That'll help. 2 more to go.
Never give up, right there.
3 keepers in the boat, 2 more for the limit. Jeremiah Kendi is within striking range.
Maybe he should borrow a page from Anthony Gagliardi's playbook, because this man has been on fire. He has turned the home lake jinx into a home field advantage. A fantastic day so far, Charlie.
8 keepers in the boat so far. He's been setting the hook with regularity. He's got a lot of places to fish, and they're all holding quality fish.
Now he's looking for keeper number 9.
Set up on that fish. Knew that bite was down there. Made sure he tightened down on him. Got a good solid hook set. Number 9 coming in the boat. Hoping it's good quality fish that he can use to call with.
It's not that big.
5 is the limit.
I was thinking that it'll work.
Into the boat with number 9.
He wasn't going anywhere.
He was stuck on that half-ounce black and blue AT jig with a Zoom pork trailer.
Over now to Wet Ones Pro, Brennan Bosley looking for his 2nd keeper of the day. He's got a fish on here.
Net.
It's good, bud.
He said that with some urgency there. He wants to make sure this fish gets in the boat.
That's what we're after, boys.
Look at the size of that fish.
So nervous I can't get it off. Still shaking a little bit.
That is a beautiful fish.
What?
What a monster he's catching there on a crankbait. Make big long cast. Here's the kind of stuff he's throwing it off of. Big long cast, cranking it down to where it hits the rocks and bounces off the rocks. That's usually when the bass grab that. He's using a bomber. Deep flathead crankbait. It's brown crystal crawfish in color. Looks just like a crawdad jumping out from around the rocks. Results in fish just like that.
Bit it just like she should. Put my X-Tools culling float on here. I don't believe I'll be culling her, though.
No chance of culling that fish. To cull that one, you'd have to have over a 40-pound stringer. That is a beautiful 6-pounder.
Here we see Anthony Gagliardi on the move again. This local knows just where he wants to go, but he'd better look over his shoulder because Brennan Bosley's trying to catch up.
Hey, I'm Brennan Bosley, and if you like big bass, stay right here, because you ain't seen nothing yet.
Each day here on Lake Murray begins and ends at Jake's Landing in the town of Lexington, South Carolina. But there's more to Lexington than just fishing, as hometown pro Ricky Shumpert shows us in this edition of Community Corner, sponsored by the National Guard.
Hi, I'm Ricky Shumpert from Lexington, South Carolina. This is my hometown. I'm gonna have a great time showing you around this town and show you a lot of good things to do. We're gonna catch a big one. Let's go have fun. We're here at the Capital City Lake Murray Tourism Center.
We also tell them where they can go fish.
This is the big Lake Murray that jinxed me this week. I hear there's some big ones out there, but I couldn't find them. 170.
170, I was, oh, my man didn't get bit.
If you want good barbecue when you come to South Carolina, come to Porky D's, best in town.
There you go. It's a fine thing right there.
Now we're at the Lexington County Museum. My friend Mike here is going to help show us around.
Well, this is the oldest registered house in the town of Lexington, 1771. The oldest one-room wooden schoolhouse left in South Carolina.
Oh, we're about ready for lunch. Biggest thing that makes South Carolina barbecue good is our secret sauce. Secret Porky D's sauce, no label. It's a mustard-based sauce. If you don't like barbecue, don't come around here. If you're coming to Lake Murray and you need baits, this is the place to come.
We always have a big fish in the tank.
You got a name?
No, just... Everybody calls him Bubba or something.
Shh, be very quiet. We're fishing for big fish today.
Oh, he's fighting me.
Oh man. 8.5 pounds. FLW Tour champion! You seen my town of Lexington? Hope you had a good time. I got to get back to practicing. See you at Pickwick.
We had a great time. Looking up at the banana boat. One of the last things the bass sees before heading into the live well of Brennan Bosley, and he has been on the move this afternoon.
And the move's starting to pay off. He's working the south shore of Lake Murray, now starting to work his way back toward Jake's Landing.
Barely got him. It ain't a giant.
Look back at keeper number 3, a good solid 2-pounder. That's after he caught that big 6.5 that got him started. Here is keeper number 4, a better fish. That one there will go close to 4 pounds.
It's number 4 for the banana boat.
He is on fire. Back to that crankbait again, working all those points, bouncing off the rocks. He's got one hooked up here.
Big one. God, that's a big one. Woohoo! Number 5 for the banana boat. Yeah! That man.
All right, a limit in the boat for Brennan Bosley. That one's over 4.5 pounder. Good solid limit. I mean, he is on fire. The crankbait he's got, imitating a crawdad, bouncing on those rocks, is good pattern, and he's in a good location on the lake.
Brennan Bosley has put himself in position to win his first ever FLW Tour event.
Now it's time to get rid of some little ones.
He's going to be able to call in a little kiss for that big fish, and it goes into the live well.
Thank you, Lord.
Meanwhile, Matt Herron is one of the top-ranked anglers on tour, but he's having trouble today, Charlie.
He's hooked up here. He's only got one keeper in the boat so far. It's been a real slow day for him.
Sandra Rankin with the net job.
Keeper number 2, but it's a small fish, just over 1 pound.
Yep. That's a hog.
If he's going to catch a real hog, he's better do it soon. It's almost time for the weigh-in, so come on back for more action on FLW Outdoors. The waters of Lake Murray are clear and cold. Last weekend's cold snap made this tournament especially challenging, but these anglers have a few tricks in their tackle boxes for days when the fish are feeling sluggish. FLW co-angler Kim Bain shows us one in today's Fishing 101, sponsored by BF Goodrich.
One of my favorite techniques to use on finicky fish after a cold front has moved through or on heavily pressured lakes is a shaky head. Now this is a great technique. It's a finesse approach, so it's great for co-anglers at the back of the boat that are looking to fill a limit quickly. They're really easy to rig. Get a little finesse worm, and it's got a screw lock. And then you put the hook point in. So there you go. It's perfectly weedless, so it's great to fish around docks, brush piles, rock piles, shallow points. If there's fish there, they're schooling, they're holding, the shaky head will catch them. So you cast it, and like the name suggests, shake it, drag it. Now remember, it's a finesse technique, so keep it nice and slow. Now some of the pros only think that the shaky head catches small fish, but let me tell you, it catches some nice ones, and I guarantee some of the fish here at Lake Murray were caught on the shaky head. So guys, grab yourself a rod, a shaky head, give it a go. I'm gonna wait here for my big bite.
Want more fishing secrets from Kim and other FLW anglers? Log on to FLWOutdoors.com to watch all of our Fishing 101 lessons. For more tips, call 877-270-5646 to subscribe to FLW Outdoors magazine. The opening round leader, Tim Carroll, in the Snickers boat. Started the morning with a 9-pound toad, but he has not stayed on them, Charlie.
He's starting to struggle a little bit now. Great start, but he slowed down. Set the hook here, got one hooked up. Taking his time.
And he needs this in the boat here. Only 2 keepers.
Just a small keeper, a little over 1 pound.
Work.
Every fish helps.
Everyone works.
Exactly. Got to get 5. With that big kicker he's got there, gets a limit in the boat, then he can really start to work and win in this event.
Tim Carroll's going to hop right back to it. Just a little time left before he's got to head in for the weigh-in. The only rookie in this top 10, David Wolak, and his co-angler Mark Cummings are in the Field and Stream boat, and they're getting in some last-minute casts at the top of the Saluda Dam.
He is fishing an area not far from Jake's Landing. The wind is picked up, smashing into the riprap along the dam, knocking some of those crawdads loose, putting the fish on a feeding frenzy, and he's taking advantage of it.
Nice-looking fish there.
Into the boat.
Last-minute heroics here. Last-minute heroics. That will be 5.
David picked a good time to land his limit fish. Eventually, everyone has to put down their rods, put on their life jacket, and bundle up for the 60-mile-an-hour ride back to the marina.
It's been quite a day. Started out really freezing cold. Warmed up a little during the day. Very windy though. We had a lot of people fishing really deep. Others throwing crankbait shallow. Can't wait to see we get to the weigh-in and find out what works best.
Monster fish, and as the boats pull in at Jake's Landing, you can see just how low the water level is right now. And as always, the anglers pulling in are wondering what their opponents have in the live wells. This season, there's something new they'll be looking out for at the marina. The National Guard leader bag.
This is the National Guard leader bag. Because he was our leader yesterday, he gets to weigh in the National Guard bag. And what that means is that the National Guard, in Tim's name, will donate $500 to the Fish America Foundation. $500 to do it today, tomorrow, the next day, $1,500 every turtle. Give the National Guard a great round of applause for that.
Tim Carroll led for 2 straight days, but now everyone's back to 0. Can he take the lead again in the final round? Find out when we come back. Get in on the action by playing the FLW Outdoors Fantasy Fishing Challenge. Log on to FLWOutdoors.com and choose your own pro team for the next event. Pick the top 5 anglers and you could win $5,000. It's free to enter, so log on now. And you can also visit the website to vote for the Eagle Claw Hook Set Award. And the winner from our season opener on Lake Okeechobee is Kelly Jordan for this full-body hookup. He receives a $500 Walmart shopping cart presented by Eagle Claw. The history books will remember this tournament on Lake Murray for 2 things: cold weather and big bass. The field brought in nearly 3,000 pounds on day 1, and monsters were everywhere. But from all those hogs, only one was big enough to earn the title of Snickers Big Bass. It was this 9-pound, 14-ounce bruiser that Kelly Jordan brought to the scales. He wins $1,000 from Snickers and has a shot to win the Big Bass of the Year with $5,000. There is the weigh-in tent outside of Walmart. The anglers are inside as a standing room only crowd awaits, and the excitement is intense. We know some of the anglers are going to bring huge Lake Murray bass to the scales. Charlie Evans is inside and the weigh-in is about to begin. Dave Wolak brings up a decent limit, weighing 12 pounds and 12 ounces, and he takes the early lead. But David Smith's limit is under 9 pounds. A terrible day for Matt Herron, just 2 fish weighing under 3 pounds. And not much better luck for Terry Seagraves, just 3 pounds and 12 ounces. Japan's Katsutoshi Furusawa just over 6 pounds in his top 10 debut. And Clifford Perch passes the 10-pound mark, but cannot catch Wolak. Then, Brennan Bosley takes the stage, and the big bass finally make an appearance.
Reaching for fish number 5. That's an amazing spring right there. 12 pounds, 12 ounces was in the lead. We have 5 here that weigh 20 pounds, 15 ounces, a new leader, Brendan Bosley.
What an effort by Bosley. Jeremiah Kindy can't catch up. He's got 8 pounds and 13 ounces. But hometown favorite Anthony Gagliardi comes close to Bosley with his limit, weighing 19 pounds. A very nice sack for him, and he is still a contender for the title. Opening round leader Tim Carroll also stays in the game. Just 3 fish, but one of them is this 9-pounder. 14 pounds, 11 ounces for Carroll. So Brendan Bosley sits on top of the leaderboard for now, nearly 2 pounds ahead of Anthony Gagliardi, but anyone can make up ground here on Lake Murray with the big fish that lie in these waters. In the co-angler competition, only 2 co-anglers caught more than 2 fish today, and one of them was Sandra Rankin.
3 fish for Sandra Rankin, and these 3 fish weigh a total of 8 pounds, 6 ounces. You are our new leader.
Only one other co-angler can challenge her, Charles Ward, and he's got a limit.
1 12-inch keeper should do it.
Tell Sandra not to get comfortable.
Don't get comfortable where you're standing, he said, because this one here is over 12 ounces. He has got a 5-fish limit, 10 pounds, 6 ounces, a new leader.
So Charles Ward finds a limit on a day when most of the other co-anglers barely got a fish in the boat. But everyone gave it their all, and all of them deserve to go home proud with a prize. Judy Israel in 8. For Charles Ward, the prize is $40,000, and it's especially sweet for him. This is his home lake. Meanwhile, the pros have to be up before dawn once again to get back out on the water. Most of them have catching up to do. No one can rest easy. FLW Outdoors from the Chevy Open will be right back. One last time, the pros gather in the pre-dawn darkness to ready themselves for competition. And the weather has gone from bad to miserable. Near freezing temperatures and rain. A lot of rain. But it can't dampen the spirits of our leader, Brennan Bosley. He got on the fish early and stayed there on day 3, bringing over 20 pounds to the scales. And he's ready to do it again.
Yeah, there's a lot of big fish being caught. I think there's a lot of fish moving every day. They're moving around a little bit this time of the year, and I really think I got a good shot at this.
Tim Carroll was the opening round leader. He is in 3rd place now, and he's on the hunt for his first ever Walmart FLW Tour victory. Not bad for a guy in his first top 10. After dominating the first 2 days, he had to work hard for 3 fish on Friday, but they were enough to move him into 3rd place, and one of them was a 9-pounder.
Look at that toad right there. I'm just going to try to relax and go fishing and let the day play out for tomorrow and just see how it goes. I'm pretty confident I can catch him again.
And this is the local favorite, Anthony Gagliardi. He may know this lake better than any of his competitors, but that can hurt as much as it can help. He stayed on the move on day 3, hunting down the big ones in deep water and ending the day in 2nd place. And he's comfortable there, but he's not getting overconfident.
As soon as I catch a big fish, the first thing that goes through my head is make another cast and try to catch another one. Bass fishing is especially with me, it's 90% confidence. And the more I do it, the better it gets, but you still have to work at it to maintain it.
It is a cold, wet start to the final day of competition, but one thought will help these pros stay warm. One of them is going home with $200,000. We have seen some huge fish here. An angler catching a 9-pound bass is like a baseball player hitting a grand slam. They can turn the standings upside down. No one is out of the running here at the Chevy Open. These pros have been pushing themselves for days just to make it this far, and now they have to make all that effort count. Join us next time for the conclusion of the 2006 Chevy Open on Lake Murray in Columbia, South Carolina. Big bass and $200,000.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes! Look at that bad boy. Oh, yeah! Yeah! Glory champion! $500,000 Richard!
Rarely in sports does the playing field actually become the dominant factor in the competition. Lake Murray has long been considered one of the premier bass fisheries in the country. And today, 10 of the world's best anglers are about to find out why. On this lake, weighing in lunkers is a regular occurrence. Stringer weights can be nearly 30 pounds. It's the second stop on the Walmart FLW Tour. From Lake Murray in Columbia, South Carolina, this is the Chevy Open. Hello, everyone. I'm Keith Leibowitz, along with Charlie Evans. Final day of competition here on Lake Murray, and $200,000 at stake for our winner today. But guess what? We've had wind, we've had bitter cold, and now we have another element added to the mix. Rain. What kind of impact is that going to have on the fishing out there today?
Keith, with rain, you get cloud cover. With cloud cover, you get more active bass. We could see some huge stringers brought in today.
And we have seen them brought in all week long, especially by a guy who's considered a favorite here, Anthony Gagliardi. He is just a couple of pounds out of the lead right now, but many believe he is still the man to beat.
He can taste victory. He's brought a limit in every day. We expect him to bring another one in today. It's just a question of how big that limit will be.
Brendan Bosley currently sits on top of the leaderboard, and he has been fantastic the last 2 days of fishing here on Lake Murray, bringing 20-plus pounds to the scales each of those days.
That's over a 4-pound average. He's cranking out there. And again, he's got a lot of confidence. He wants to win this one.
And a man we cannot count out is Tim Carroll. He's been on fish all week long, and he still believes he can catch them.
He led over the first 2 days. Again, stumbled a little bit yesterday, but had that huge 9-pounder yesterday. Get a couple more like that, which he lost yesterday. He goes back and get those today. He could pull this out also.
Clouds may make the bass more active, but the rain is not any fun for the anglers. But whatever the weather, they have got to get out there and go after the big bass. And some of them are putting off getting soaked for as long as they can. The bait shop here at Jake's Landing is looking like a bullpen for an all-star fishing team. Our current leader, Wet Ones Pro Brendan Bosley, he's inside for now, and he's ready to face Mother Nature.
It wouldn't matter if it's frozen. I'd walk out there and dig a hole and go fishing.
And Brendan is hardly alone. Second place, Anthony Gagliardi is in there too. And the hometown favorite has no plans to change his strategy just because of a little rain.
I'm going to stick with what I've been doing, regardless of what the weather does today. That's really the only thing that I know I can do to catch a big enough weight to win it.
Here we go, look at the rain. That's Clifford Perch, and he seems to be looking forward to a day of fishing no matter what the weather is. And Charlie, it's got to be tough to run out there in this kind of weather.
You're exactly right, Keith. It is cold, it is wet, it is miserable. But these anglers can't wait to get out on the water because they know the fish are going to tear it up today. Anytime you get cloud cover, the fish get a lot more aggressive. They don't like direct sunlight. They hide from the direct sun. But when it's cloud cover out there, they move out from the bottom of the cover up to the top of the cover, get really active. These guys are going out there today and pound them.
It's still dark, pouring rain, and the temperatures are in the low 40s. Bad weather for driving a car, but imagine this. Going 60 miles an hour on the water in an open boat, every raindrop that hits you in the face feels like a dart coming at you. There are over 18 pounds that separate our leader and 10th place, but that could be just 2 fish, so this is still anyone's game. Brendan Bosley is on top with about a 1.5 pound lead over Anthony Gagliardi. Tim Carroll in third. The rest of the field will be chasing those 3 down. The state of South Carolina has the Atlantic Ocean on one side and the Appalachian Mountains on the other. Lake Murray sits right in between them in the center of the state, formed by a dam on the Saluda River. It's 55,000 acres of rugged shoreline and inlets. Here's hometown favorite Anthony Gagliardi, who is sticking to his deep water brush piles. And Charlie, it's a strategy that's paid off since day one.
Keith, he had almost 27 pounds on day one, and he's barely touched all of his spots he had in practice.
Yesterday I went and I caught a pretty quick limit fishing brush up in this area, but man, I'm afraid that if I do that today, I'm going to give up my only opportunity to fish some of this stuff. That's why I decided to come out here now.
Back here, setting the hook. Oh man, this is a strong fish. Look at this fish pull.
You can hold it right there, Ryan.
In the net. Oh no. I believe he's loose. No, he's still there. No, he's gone. He lost that first fish of the day. That's not the way you want to start your day.
And you saw him flip the net back. We don't normally see very much emotion out of Anthony Gagliardi. Saw a little bit of frustration right there. Here's the guy he's chasing. It's Brendan Bosley. And on days 2 and 3, Brendan Bosley was absolutely on fire.
He came from way back, 74th place into 5th place with a 26-pound stringer and won the Energizer Keeps On Going award.
Here's Bosley now. This is keeper number 1 on.
Still throwing that bomber crawfish colored crankbait. It's been working very effectively for him.
Number 1's the banana boat.
That's a bonus fish, boys.
I like it.
Brendan Bosley stretches out his first place lead, and the other anglers have some serious catching up to do. Much more ahead for the Chevy Open on FLW Outdoors. Here's Tim Carroll fishing out of the Snickers boat. This is his first top 10, and he's hoping for a morning like he had on day 3. Unbelievable performance by him on day 3.
He started out right off the bat with one over 9 pounds. What a start, but only was able to get 2 more keepers after that. Struggled a little bit after that huge fish.
Oh my gosh.
Want to work it here? Wow!
There's a big one.
He has put some power into that hook set.
It's a hog. Please stay on there, baby.
He needs this one.
It's gonna come off.
Can't afford to lose this big fish.
Oh,
Wow, what a giant!
look at that one.
A fish like that could win this tournament.
Oh my God. What a fish. I don't think it's 9 pounds, but it's an easy 7.5.
He is off to a great start. He's got momentum now.
And the crowd goes wild.
When they see that fish, they will.
It's been solid.
Here's a guy who had a tough day yesterday, Katsutoshi Furusawa. Just 2 keepers, but this morning he's already got one in the boat looking for keeper number 2. He's got one on.
Fishing with a spinning rod reel, light line, taking his time with his fish.
Oh.
You got to choke up on it. Oh, that's a nice fish.
Into the boat.
He's fired up.
Good fish.
Yes. We got to see that again. He is pumped up, getting really excited with that one.
If I had a fish like that, I'd show it off to the cameras as well. Great start for Katsutoshi.
Maybe a lot of eggs.
Yeah, a lot of eggs. A pre-spawn bass right there going into the live well. That is fish number 2 for Katsutoshi. Here now is Anthony Gagliardi fishing out of the Chevy boat, and just moments ago, he landed keeper number 1.
He has switched to a crankbait, throwing a Brian's Bees B10 crankbait, chartreuse root beer, and a good solid keeper, about 3.5 pounds to get his day started.
Moved him all around the boat too, and he may be feeling a little more pressure than any of the other anglers today, because win or lose in front of the hometown fans, he wants to perform. From Prosperity, South Carolina, Anthony Gagliardi. 41 pounds, 14 ounces. Holy cow.
I'm extremely glad that I have the opportunity to be in the top 10 in my hometown. We bought a house. My parents bought a lake house down here. I was probably in 5th or 6th grade. I've been familiar with the lake for a long, long time. People know me. I'm not the kind of guy that always seeks the spotlight out, but I mean, it's nice to be a hometown favorite and have people cheering for you. I have a lot of family that's never gotten a chance to see one of these weigh-ins at all, so they're all here. My wife took this week off from teaching to be here, and I love it when she comes to the tournaments and gets to see everything and participate. In between tournaments, I can come in and visit with their kids in their classroom and bring things to them and talk to them about fishing, and they love it.
Anthony Gagliardi is the champion here at Kentucky Lake.
I have a win under my belt, so I don't have the pressure.
I felt like I had a good opportunity to do well coming into this tournament, and I'm glad that I didn't disappoint.
I feel I have a good shot at it. I probably more so than any top 10 I've made. I mean, I have a legitimate shot at winning this one. I've always been competitive by nature, and this, to me, is one of the most competitive sports that there is. It's all about what you do. I mean, you control your destiny completely.
His wife, who's a teacher, promised ice cream to all her students if Anthony wins $200,000. I'd imagine double scoops are in order.
Got keeper number 2 on the line here, taking his time with his fish. Anytime it pulls down, he just gives with it, make sure it doesn't pull off. With a crankbait, they can pull off real easy, especially up close to the boat. He's taking his time here. Slip the net right under it. He's got it. That crankbait is a perfect imitation of a crawdad, which is the major forage right now on Lake Murray.
My nerves can't take that. That's I think that's one of the strongest fish I've ever caught.
That fish for a 4-pounder was really pulling. He thought it was a lot bigger than that.
Yeah, it had him moving all over the boat there. Anthony Gagliardi has keeper number 2 on board. They are going after it this morning. We have seen some huge fish landed already. Here is Brennan Bosley on the move. He's hunting down the big ones, trying to stay out in front of Anthony Gagliardi.
I'm Anthony Gagliardi. Stay tuned to watch me catch these big bass on my home lake, Lake Murray.
Welcome back to a very soggy Chevy Open here on Lake Murray. The rain has been pouring down all morning, but it is not dampening anyone's spirits, including Terry Seagraves. He started the day in 9th place.
He was over 17 pounds out of the lead. Setting hook here, got one coming toward the boat. But every single fish he catch could move him up the leaderboard and earn him more money. Into the boat. That'll help.
You need a whole lot more than that, though.
He's certainly going to need more than that, but that will get him started. Caught on a jig.
Man, you have to work on flow down there.
Nice start for Terry Seagraves. He puts that into the live well. We move over to Brennan Bosley, who is usually one of the more low-key anglers on tour. But his performance here this week is making the rest of the field sit up and take notice. He's the man they're chasing for 200 grand. Brennan Bosley.
I may not break dance like some guys do. I can hoop and holler a little bit. I've been on the Walmart FLW Tour 4 years. I've had one top 10. This will be my second top 10.
What a comeback from 75th into the top 10.
I'm tickled to death. Get off to a good start like this. Had a decent finish at Okeechobee and then come here and get top 10. It was awesome.
20 pounds, 15 ounces, a new leader.
When I'm not fishing, I like to fish and fish some more.
Let's rock and roll, boys.
Hey, it wouldn't matter if it's frozen. I'd walk out there and dig a hole and go fishing. Yeah, we're a little crazy. 1 for the banana boat. Number 2. Number 3, it's number 4. Right after the banana boat. Yeah, when I put that 8 or 9 pounder in the boat, you'll probably see a good reaction. Yes! Just like to have a good time.
And he's having a great time this week, and he's got a shot to win $200,000, Charlie.
He's on his way. He's got one keeper in the boat. He's hooked up to number 2 right here. With that crankbait, bounce it off the rocks. Get a good imitation of a crawdad. Take his time with this fish. This is a monster.
Wow.
Yes! Yes! Woohoo! You're going to Walmart, baby!
He's telling that fish that the fans at the Walmart Supercenter are about to meet him.
That's what it's all about.
We got to see that one again. Huge 7-pound fish caught on that crawdad-looking crankbait. Again, throwing up on points. These are pre-spawn fish, getting ready to move up as the water warms up, catching some beautiful big bass on that crankbait up against the bank.
Look at there, folks.
Tim Carroll started today in 3rd place, but he's been making up ground big time. A 7-pounder earlier, and then this one a few moments ago.
That one's over 4 pounds, 2 fish now, over 11 pounds in the boat. Tim is on fire.
Yeah, he's keeping himself in the game, and now he is in the hunt for number 3. He's got one on.
He has switched from the football jig to a Texas rig worm, and it's working too.
We're good, boys.
He is catching some really big fish all week long. Into the net with number 3.
Praise the Lord. That'll help matters right there, baby.
Wow, Tim Carroll is showing why he led the opening round, and this is really shaping up to be a dramatic day. And now Anthony Gagliardi has one hooked up. We've already seen him being moved all around the boat by a couple of fish, and here he goes again.
This must be a monster. He's really taking his time. Again, shoving that rod down into the water, make sure that fish has got plenty of room. Don't want the line tangled around the outboard or on the bottom of the boat. Give him plenty of room. Let him slip the drag if he needs to.
He has gone from the front of the boat to the back of the boat, back to the front of the boat.
These are big, strong fish. No sense in getting in any hurry. Let them take their time. You don't want to break him off or have him pull off.
Yeah, this is a long wait for Gagliardi to get this fish in the net, and there he goes.
No wonder it took so long. That is a monster fish. Keeper number 3 into the boat.
That's what it's about right there.
Anthony Gagliardi clearly worn out from that fish. Brennan Bosley on the move again. There's no clear advantage here. Bosley, Gagliardi, Carroll separating themselves from the field on FLW Outdoors. One of the most inspiring anglers on last season's tour is making waves this season, proving that he is back in the game after a nearly fatal crash. John Sappington's comeback last year defied the odds. In 2004, he nearly died in a high-speed boating accident. His neck was broken. Walking again would be a miracle. Fishing again seemed just a dream.
There was a good chance that he could be paralyzed.
John returned to the tour last year. but it was bittersweet.
Worst I've ever finished in FLW is in points for the year is like 49th, and I ended up 145th last year, and it was hard on my pride.
Now over a year after the accident, John wants to reestablish himself as a force on the Walmart FLW Tour.
I really feel blessed to be doing this, you know, doing what I love to do and starting to make some right decisions.
Because you are getting back, this is the old John Savage work here. 16 pounds, 8 ounces, giving 24.
I finished 49th here at Lake Murray and got my first $10,000 check of the year. I'm back, look out.
Can't wait to see John back in the top 10. We know he'll be there before too long. Here's Tim Carroll now, who's had a nice day, and wow, what a hook set.
What a haul right there.
He's got 3 in the boat, 1 a 7-pounder. Here's number 4 on the way.
Oh no, don't break the line.
Fish almost ripped the rod right out of his hands.
The rod away from me. Oh my gosh. 10-pounder.
Wow.
$200,000 fish right here.
Tim Carroll has never won on tour. He's tasting if he can land this fish.
Get the net.
All right, he got it.
Wow, what a fish.
Look at that fish.
That deserves another look. Great hook set, but like setting a hook into a stump, he can't move that big, strong fish over 9 pounds.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, fish like that'll take your breath away. He's seeing green with that one, and not just because of the color of that fish. Let's go over now to the Castrol boat. Here is David Smith. He's already got his limit. This is his first top 10 after 11 years on tour, and he's got keeper number 6 coming towards the boat.
Dave already has a limit in the boat. This fish here should call one of his smaller fish. He's catching lots of fish, but he needs bigger fish. He started the day over 12 pounds out of the lead, so just catching keepers won't help. Throwing a crawdad-colored crankbait has really been effective here on Murray.
Man, that's a good sign there.
He will, as you said, Charlie, be able to call. Here's Brennan Bosley, and he's working the shoreline in the banana boat. He started the day in the lead, but he is definitely fighting for it now. And just a few moments ago, he landed this 4-pounder. It was keeper number 3.
Yes!
Brennan's having a great day, but so are Tim Carroll and Anthony Gagliardi.
He has thrown nothing but this bomber deep flat egg crankbait, throwing it up against those points, bouncing off the rocks coming down, catching pre-spawn fish, 3 in the boat, and here he's hooked up to number 4.
Oh yeah, Daddy.
Taking his time.
Oh yeah.
He's excited about this one.
Come to Daddy.
Look at the fin in that poke.
Oh, it's a good one. Yes, baby, yes!
He is having fun out there, Keith.
Wow, the Big Fish Festival still happening here at Lake Murray.
Be still now. You're gonna be a star.
I can't believe that. Again, beautiful cast up on the bank, starting in shallow water, working it out toward the deep. On that crankbait, and he's going to take that fish in and show him off in front of the crowd at Walmart.
That's what it's all about.
Hey, I'm Brennan Bosley, and if you like big bass, stay right here, because you ain't seen nothing yet.
Many of the pros are using crankbaits to catch monster bass on Lake Murray this week. FLW pro Sean Herkey shows us how it's done in today's Fishing 101, sponsored by BF Goodrich.
As you can see, crankbait selection can be a very confusing subject. So today I'm going to try to help you make those decisions a little bit easier. Basically, there's 2 different types of crankbaits. One is a very round-bodied crankbait that produces a very wide wobble. I prefer these crankbaits in water temperatures over 60 degrees. The other is a very thin crankbait that produces a very tight wobble. These crankbaits I prefer in water under 60 degrees. Color selection has always been very confusing, and I like to really keep it simple. In the springtime, I prefer baits with browns and oranges. In clear water, I prefer a white baits work. First, we're going to start off with the wide-bodied crankbait. As you can see, with this crankbait, it has a very wide wobble and displaces a lot of water, which the fish really love in the summertime. The flat-sided crankbait has a very tight vibration pattern, and the fish really key in on that in the wintertime. Hopefully with these few tips, you'll become a lot better crankbait fisherman.
Want more fishing secrets from Sean and other FLW pros? Log on to FLWOutdoors.com to watch all of our Fishing 101 lessons. And for more tips, call 877-270-5646 to subscribe to FLW Outdoors magazine. We're going right back out to the Chevy boat. Here's Anthony Gagliardi stalking another fish.
Wow. He is hooked up to a monster here with a lot of pull downers like fish. Oh man, what a fish. Into the net.
Yes, sir. That's about as much emotion as you'll see from Anthony. He is excited.
He is fired up with keeper number 4. Beautiful fish coming on that jig.
And Charlie, you cannot overstate the pressure that Anthony had coming into this event, and he is delivering for the hometown fans. But Anthony Gagliardi is not the only one hooking up. They've switched on for Brennan Bosley as well. And now he's got a limit in the boat. And that flat A bomber crankbait is working magic for Brennan Bosley. That was keeper number 3. And here moments ago, keeper number 4 for Bosley. And then his limit fish into the net.
Oh, it ain't as good as I thought, but that's 5, baby. Woo!
Throwing that crankbait all week while the sun was out. The fish were down deeper off those points, hiding under the rocks in the shadows. When the cloud cover comes over, they move up shallower, getting more active. The crankbait comes through, bouncing off the rocks, looks like a crawdad, and they jump on it.
And they've been jumping on it all week long.
Oh, it's a good one, too.
He's hooked up again.
Oh, yeah, Daddy.
Nervous time here. He can see he's just barely hooked in there. So important to have the right drag setting so it won't pull off when he gets out next to the boat, get the net, and get him in the net.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, the crankbait came out in the net, boys. It's my day. Yahoo! Oh, my God.
That was a lucky break.
In the net. My Lord.
Yeah, Charlie, you are correct, because watch, right as the fish is getting into the net, boom, right there, the lure comes loose right as he got him in.
But he had the net in the perfect position. Things are going his way.
Thank you, baby.
A kiss for the keeper. Brennan Bosley will be able to call with that fish. Here now is Katsutoshi Furusawa.
Hooked up here. Good fish on here. Really pulling. Oh, no, he lost that fish. That's got to hurt, Keith.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of extra money for Katsutoshi, and he landed that fish. It looked like a big bass. Here now is Tim Carroll. He, Anthony Gagliardi, and Brennan Bosley have been putting on a show today. Carroll's got another fish on. Look at the bend there.
These fish on Lake Murray are really, really strong. Oh, nice fish.
And Charlie, Tim Carroll is approaching the 30-pound mark, which would be a new single-day record on the FLW Tour. 29.6 is the current record. And Carroll lands another monster.
This lake is unbelievable.
You got that right, Tim.
Back to the jig for a little bit. Be another big one.
Hi, I'm Tim Carroll. Don't go away. I'm going to catch another 9-pounder out of Lake Murray. Coming on back.
What excitement we have here on Lake Murray. Legendary Ranger Boats founder Forrest L. Wood tells us about the time the doctor told him to avoid excitement. In today's FLW Fishtail, presented by Evan Root.
A few years ago, I had some heart surgery, and the doctor cautioned me about staying out of stressful situations and so forth. And then I was real bored standing around the house, and I thought, what could I do to entertain myself? And the only gun I didn't have was an over and under 410 shotgun. So I ordered one of those and got it. Took my gun, walked out the shed behind the house and slapped the shed, and the starling blew out. I don't like starlings. They're dirty birds and mess things up. So I shot him and he fell, and I walked over to look at him for some reason, and there were 2 dead chickens laying there, 2 dead roosters. And so I stepped up to the house kind of hurriedly and said, Nana, I found 2 dead chickens. And she acted like she didn't hear me the first time, so I said it again. I said, Nana, there's 2 dead roosters out there. And she said, I know it, I killed them. I said, you killed them? Why did you kill them? She said, this fighting and wouldn't quit. And I said, why did you kill both of them? She said, I didn't know which one started it. She has control of her chickens pretty well.
Now that is a fishtail. Great story. Here's Clifford Perch trying to make a break to the top of the leaderboard. He's got one on here. This will be keeper number 4 if he can bring it to the boat. But Charlie, it's going to be tough for him to get to the top.
He was in 5th place, coming in over 10 pounds down, catching some fish, but not big enough to make a huge run. But again, every single fish, every pound, every ounce, move him up the leaderboard and make him more money.
Come on. Oh, my hands aren't working. Yeah, he'll help. I don't know if it's the same one I saw, but...
Here's Anthony Gagliardi. He started 2 pounds out of the lead today, and he's been catching some nice fish.
His bait of choice, a 1/2 ounce black and blue all-terrain tackle jig with a Zoom Pro Chunk trailer. Fishing it slow and deep in brush piles.
We mentioned the record that Tim Carroll was approaching of over 30 pounds, and look at Anthony Gagliardi on another big fish that's moving him around the boat again. Gagliardi also approaching the 30-pound single-day mark. And look at that fish, Charlie.
That is a monster.
Yes!
We could set another record here today, Keith. 2-day record catch, 44 pounds and 14 ounces, could fall today. Lake Murray is really showing us good stuff.
And I think 3 guys have a shot at that record, including Gagliardi, Bosley, and Tim Carroll.
That's the one right there.
Here now is Matt Herron in the Pedigree boat, one of the more consistent anglers, but he has never won a Walmart FLW Tour event. Having some trouble today, looking for keeper number 2. Oh my, look at that.
Hit him right up beside the boat. This is a monster fish. Almost jerked the rod right out of his hand, slip and drag. This is a big fish.
Putting up a big fight too.
That one's on a spinnerbait. Man, he needs to get the net. Grab a hold of that fish, Matt. Get it. Finally got it in the boat.
You said that they're violent, man. They scared me to death. That other one did.
That was over 7 pounds.
And you'll see right here, he caught that fish right at the boat. And all day long, we've seen fights like this from the Lake Murray bass.
This one here could move him way up the leaderboard. He started out in 10th place. This fish will definitely help.
And you gotta know, catching a fish like that, Matt Herron was having a great time.
Oh, what the last 2 days.
A new team on the tour this season is the National Guard. The anglers are a motivated bunch, just like the big team they represent.
Hi, I'm Sergeant Melinda Mize from the FLW National Guard Bass Fishing Team, and we'd like to salute the men and women of the National Guard serving overseas. Thanks for your service. We're proud to be a part of your team. Hoorah!
Why are more people watching 6 News First?
Shelly Presco joins us live at the Update Center with more.
For
Lindsey Stinson
We're first to bring you the latest breaking news.
A Republican lawmaker has drafted a bill allowing a jury friends crash.
We're first on location wherever news is happening.
What is MnDOT doing tonight to prepare for this storm?
We're first to keep you ahead of severe winter weather.
A winter storm warning is in effect for our entire viewing area. All of us will have seen 6 to 8 inches of snow.
See for yourself why more people are watching 6 News First.
Here's Matt Herron. He caught 1 fish all morning, but he's brought in 2 more in the last hour.
That's good.
Hooked up again. That spinnerbait's starting to work for him. Caught that huge fish, and here's another monster fish.
Matt's gonna make himself a few extra dollars in this event.
Move it up the leaderboard with fish like that.
That's what's called eating it there.
That fish did eat that spinnerbait. Thinks it's a minnow up there on top of the water. Had 1 fish all morning long. Here in the last few minutes, he has really come alive. That's keeper number 4 coming into the boat.
And here now is Brennan Bosley. His time is up. He's gonna pull up the trolling motor and head on in. What a day he had. Entered the final round as the leader. Has a shot to win his first ever event and did everything he could to make it happen. All the anglers would love to score victory here, like Clark Wendland did back in 2000. And that's the topic of today's Fujifilm Fine Picks Photo Flashback.
I actually caught 1 big fish the last day on a floating worm, and that fish really made the difference for me.
That could be the one.
Actually, that fish came out, and it was coming to me, and I could see it, and all of a sudden the bait dropped down, and the fish bit.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
fish, and I only ended up with 4. Without that fish, I would have had no chance.
Man, that's a nice fish.
Luckily, it was enough.
Your champion then, Clark Wendlandt.
We're not far away from crowning a champion here, and the one thing I do know is that it's going to be a 3-man race, Charlie.
Keith, looks like it'll come down to a photo finish between our leader, Brendan Bosley, local favorite Anthony Gagliardi, and Tim Carroll, who will likely set a single-day catch record here today.
And just fishing the FLW Tour is a dream come true for these anglers. But what if they had to do something else? That's the question in today's edition of Ask the Angler, sponsored by Field & Stream.
If you weren't a bass fisherman, what would you be?
I think I'd be Tony the Tiger.
I'd be an ant farmer.
Well, I guess I'd be a redfish fisherman.
I'd be a teacher.
I would probably be in the medical field working as a doctor.
A rock star. Without a doubt.
Why can't you ever think of stuff when you ask the question?
No doubt I'd be a rock star.
What?
I'm not doing air guitar.
I'd probably be an electrical engineer.
What's the coolest answer you guys got so far?
A race car driver.
Probably actually be able to graduate from college.
My favorite thing to be is a dad.
Man, I don't know.
I'd probably be broke because that's about all I know how to do.
I will be a farmer, which I am, and then selling cheese.
Thanks a lot to all of our anglers. It's check-in time at Jake's Landing. Being just a minute late means a 1-pound penalty. Tournaments have been won or lost on much less.
All right, pros, here we go. Everybody's loaded up.
After check-in, it's out of the water and on to the trailers. A rare moment for the competitors to just sit back. A police escort clears the way for the boat procession, and it's a game of nerves now as the anglers and their fish head for the weigh-in tent. Outside Walmart, the weigh-in tent is packed with fans. The giant bass here are sure to be a great show. Charlie Evans is inside the tent and the weigh-in is getting underway. Matt Herron has a big fish, but it's too little, too late. With a 2-day total of 18 pounds, 11 ounces, he is eliminated. Terry Seagraves is also sent to the showers. Katsutoshi Furusawa had a nice fish, but he only caught 2 today. He's gone. Land O'Lakes pro Jeremiah Kindy can't hold on either. He's eliminated. As is Clifford Perch. He has a limit, but not enough weight. And the same goes for rookie David Wolak out of the Field & Stream boat. Brendan Bosley began the day on top. He had a great afternoon, able to cull once he had his limit. With just 2 of his fish weighed, he has no problem keeping the lead. He sets the mark the remaining anglers are going to have to beat in this Texas-style shootout. Tim Carroll is next to the scales, and he answers Bosley's challenge with one of his own.
3:14. I think he's got that. Wow, pretty easy there. Hold it up there. Gee, oh whiz, what a beautiful big bass. 3 pounds, 14 ounces is all he needs. This is his 3rd bass he's weighed in so far. This one weighs in at 6 pounds, 5 ounces, a new leader, Tim Carroll.
So Tim Carroll stakes his claim to the top spot, but this weigh-in is just getting interesting. Hometown pro Anthony Gagliardi was on the fish today too, and he is also armed with a limit of great bass. When he weighs in his 3rd fish, he jumps to the top of the leaderboard, and the crowd loves it. But he knows this tournament is far from over. Tim Carroll is sitting on 2 more fish, and he has proven he knows how to catch the big ones. And let's not forget about Brendan Bosley. He's got more in the live well too. The action continues next. The winner of this Chevy Open receives $200,000, but that's not all. He'll also be awarded the one-of-a-kind Poulin Cut Above the Rest trophy. It's what the anglers mean when they talk about fishing for the eagle. Handcrafted at each weigh-in by Tim Kidding, the only way to get one is to be a Walmart FLW Tour champion. The stakes are high here at the weigh-in. Only 3 anglers are still in the game. For now, Anthony Gagliardi is the leader, but that position is shaky at best. All he can do is wait and see. Brendan Bosley is coming back to the scales. He carries the National Guard leader bag, showing that he led the field yesterday. And all week long, Bosley has shown he's got what it takes to be a champion. Some great catches, including a 7-pounder. And that kind of fish gives you confidence at the end of the day.
That's what it's all about.
But now, he's got to overtake Gagliardi and fight off Tim Carroll. And his third fish isn't enough.
This will be fish number 4 for Brennan. Number 4, and I think he's got it. 2 monsters. These 2 fish weigh 9 pounds, 7 ounces, a new leader, Brennan Bosley.
Now it's Tim Carroll's turn.
Whoa! He needs 7 pounds to take over the lead. This fish weighs in at 8 pounds, 9 ounces, a new leader, Tim Carroll.
What a show these guys are putting on. Anthony Gagliardi now steps to the stage. This is his lake. Will it be his tournament? He has been a force of nature all week. He hasn't let the hometown pressure get to him. Every day has been a great one, and he has consistently brought a lot of weight to the scales. And now is when it counts the most.
These 5-12 to retake the lead. That's a beautiful fish. A beautiful fish. Looking for 5 pounds and 12 ounces. 5-12. This fish weighs in at 6 pounds, 13 ounces, a new leader.
What a nerve-wracking shootout for these anglers. Brennan Bosley has one last fish. One more chance. And whatever Brennan has in his bag, Tim Carroll knows he must beat it to win this tournament and the $200,000 first prize.
It's 2 pounds and 12 ounces. Let's see if he's got it. I think so. 2 pounds and 12 ounces will put you into the lead. This is his 5th fish. It weighs a total of 8 pounds, 1 ounce, a new leader.
Tim Carroll has a fish left, but will it be enough? Anthony Gagliardi will have another shot too. Will the home state jinx get him after all? Right now it's Brennan Bosley who has the edge, but he can't rest easy. We crown a champion next. This weigh-in has been a clash of the titans. All 3 anglers remaining have a shot at eclipsing the 2-day record of 44 pounds and 14 ounces. Right now, Brennan Bosley is on top, but he's already weighed in his limit. Tim Carroll is next up. He's been on the tour for 4 years, but has never made a top 10 before. If he could win here, it would make 4 years of hard work all worthwhile. And he sure got what it takes. He dominated the opening round, but he stumbled on day 3. His big bass today put him back in the running, but can he make up for lost ground?
Whoa. Tim Carroll needs 6 pounds and 8 ounces, 6'8" to take over the lead. This fish weighs in at 6 pounds, 6 ounces, 2 ounces shy.
Wow, Bosley keeps the lead and is guaranteed at least $100,000. The only man standing between him and $200,000 is Anthony Gagliardi. For Brennan Bosley, it would be his first ever Walmart FLW Tour victory. For Anthony Gagliardi, it's a chance to claim the title on his home lake. The excitement is unbelievable. Gagliardi's wife is holding her breath along with the rest of the fans.
You will need 5 pounds and 6 ounces, 5'6", to be the champion here. Make everybody here go crazy looking for 5 pounds, 6 ounces. That spells $100,000 for you.
Yeah, I think so.
Let's weigh her in. This is his 5 bass limit. $200,000 for winner, $100,000 difference. This one weighs in at 6 pounds, 14 ounces. We have a champion.
incredible tournament ends with a dramatic victory for Anthony Gagliardi and a hug from wife Kristen. 4 days of bad weather, very little sleep, and now this. The hometown hero is the Chevy Open champion. This tournament was truly one for the history books. Tim Carroll finished in 3rd place, but set a single-day record of 30 pounds and 15 ounces. All 3 of our top finishers broke the Walmart FLW Tour record for 2-day total weight.
Be the champion of this tournament and at the same time, you know, hold a record for the 2-day weight is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's just, you know, I really cannot believe it yet.
Believe it or not, Anthony Gagliardi has won his 2nd Walmart FLW Tour title. What a victory! It's proof that dreams really do come true. Join us next time from Pickwick Lake in Florence, Alabama. And log on to FLWOutdoors.com for complete tournament coverage and live webcast. For Charlie Evans, I'm Keith Leibowitz. Thanks for watching.